part 2 of my Dragon Ball Retrospective. So like I said, I was really looking forward to having Gohan being the new main character and have the story revolve around him and him being the new protagonist. But unfortunately that didn't happen. And I've seen, I guess, interviews, or maybe it's just a fan theory, that the original plan was for Gohan to be the new hero and to shift the story from Goku to Gohan, which makes sense when you see how the story in Dragon Ball Z was written and how Gohan was a fixture of it and that he was always there and just about to break out. But unfortunately, it wasn't going to be Gohan now. You know, the fanboys and fangirls in Japan of Goku's were saying, no, we want Goku, we want Goku, we want Goku. Forget about the future. We want to live in the past. And so I mainly blame them for Dragon Ball jumping the shark. The only thing I really blame Akira Toriyama for is not sticking to his guns and saying, no, trust me, I know what I'm doing. We've been on this ride with Goku for a long time. It's time to move forward. And we've been on this ride with Gohan as well. And he's now the guy that should be leading the story into the future. But instead he buckled. And what we got was the Majin Buu saga, which at the start was pretty good. You had this new... Goku comes back in order to partake in a tournament instead of seeing his family. And one thing I never liked about Goku was that he's a pretty bad parent. But they have this thing going on, and there's all this stuff coming underneath, and then it explodes. Oh, there's a new villain coming out, a new threat. And at first we see Dabura, and I think, okay, he's just the side mission, or the mini boss in a sense, to use a gaming term. And so the big bad is Majin Buu. But again, if Gohan had been the hero and would have stayed strong and trained himself the 7 years in between the end of the Cell saga until the start of Majin Buu, he would easily dispatch Dabura. And some people say, well, that's not Gohan, he's not a fighter. I call BS on that because, like I said before, Gohan is the type of fighter that he doesn't go out and look for the fight, but he's also not going to run from it. And that's the type of character that I was looking forward to. And like I said, we didn't get that. And people still think that Gohan, no, he's not really a fighter. It's like, no, he is. You're just not seeing it. And it's just my perspective, and people could probably disagree with me and say that I don't know what I'm talking about. But this is just how I see it. And so there's the whole thing with Dabura and Gohan not finishing him off like he should have been able to. And then Vegeta, in his obsession with trying to defeat Kakarot, lets himself get taken over by Bobby's mind control magic. Even though he's still able to resist what Bobby's orders, he lets himself get taken over so that he can have augmented power to take on Kakarot. And probably one of the best, if not the best, one-on-one fight in Dragon Ball Z. Goku versus Vegeta, or maybe I should say Kakarot versus Vegeta, because, well, when I watched it in Spanish, it flat out said that episode was called, when they first started fighting, it was Goku versus Vegeta, and that was it. It was a great way to say, yeah, we're getting down to business here. But, you know, of course the fight gets interrupted, and after Vegeta incapacitates Goku, is probably one of the best moments in Dragon Ball Z, and it's a favorite of a lot of people, is Vegeta's character arc, character growth coming to a head where he finally shows some kindness and fighting for something other than himself, with sacrificing himself in order to save the world and to save his son. And the whole scene where he tells Trunks to look after his mother. And the whole thing is very emotional, and for a lot of fans, I'm sure they probably cried the first time they saw it. I didn't, but it was great. It was a beautiful moment, And it was completely meaningless. It was completely meaningless. It was worthless because Majin Buu survived. And that's even worse than when Cell survived when Goku sacrificed himself, because we expect Goku to do something like that. That's his character. That's who he is. We never would have expected that from Vegeta. That's not who he is. But to see him do that, willing to make that sacrifice, was such a great moment. And to see it being wasted was complete BS as far as I'm concerned. And that is the moment, in my opinion, when Dragon Ball Z jumped the shark. That moment right there. Because it should not have been like that. And it was the perfect way to end the series, but then it was in the beginning of it, and it was such a high, and then it just started sinking from there. And there were so many ways that they teased us that the story was going to end. Oh, it was going to be Trunks and Goten fusing, and then they were going to take on Majin Buu. But then that didn't happen. But at the same time, Gohan is training again and getting new power past Super Saiyan 3 level, Goku's ability with this mystic form, which is the unofficial fan name of it. But then that does it, and it goes on and on and on, and it goes way too long. And at the end, it's a spirit bomb that kills Majin Buu, which is kind of interesting because the spirit bomb has failed a few times in that series before it finally succeeds in taking out Kid Buu. But there was so many things that were just messed up with that series, and it was not as good as it should have been. And looking back, there are some great things in the series, like in that series, but there's just too much bad, I think, to say, yeah, it was as good as the Cell Saga. It was, if the Cell Saga was a 9, then the Majin Buu Saga was a 6. So, but then after that, the Dragon Ball Z series ends, and that's all we have to have for that series. Man, this the whole thing does not last very long, huh? I feel like I'm missing something. Oh yeah, the movies. Right, so I did not see all the movies, so I can't really talk about them in great depth, but... Wait, what? Not the movies? Well, what am I going to talk about until I talk about Dragon Ball Super? I mean, I said 4 parts, so why... No. No, not that. No, not... Oh, I gotta talk about that, don't I? Oh, crap. Yeah, this next part is not going to be a good time. But then again, not everything in life is super. Stay tuned for part 3. Later.